Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me, as always, over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. They call him the truth box out there on the interwebs because he just loves to speak the truth all day, every day. My man, Juice Box, what's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Hey, man. Thank you for introducing me instead of to the audience. But yeah, I'm feeling great. Also, shout out to the audience. Looking forward to getting through a good one here. I got a couple things up my sleeve here. So let's
good
get her
stuff.
going.
I love it. All right. All pleasantries aside, now that we got those done, I usually try to give you a little something coming from the brain here about what we got on tap, but the show is just too jam-packed today. We got too much going on. We got to get to it. It's a big one, a huge show. So let's just welcome in our friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because guess what, people? It is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime! Woo! Woo!
Gotta love all those. Those are great. All the extra woos.
I say woo. She says woo, woo, woo. Remember this one? When he's talking about being with the women, right? I do woo, awesome. And they're going woo, woo, woo.
We're gonna get some of those up here, maybe. Maybe get him on.
We could probably get him on.
We actually might. We could probably book him. You got 50 bucks in a 30 pack of Miller Lite.
I saw him in a wheelchair in the Atlanta, Hartsfield Jackson, Atlanta airport. Like yelling at his assistant, "What? You didn't know? Like I need a limousine." And he was like, as old as he is now. It's like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I am, and like yelling. And Carrie's like, is that like?
That's incredible. Yeah. Watch wearing Rolex, wearing limousine, driving, private jet, flying. He's great. All right. Off the bat here, what we want to get to is the Supreme Court ruling. They did a 9-0. Yes, 9-0 in favor of Donald J. Trump. They ruled against the state of Colorado, who tried to remove him from the ballot to protect democracy, we're told. So the Supreme Court came in. Even the libs who hate Trump, they even had to admit, states can't just go and take somebody off the ballot. So they're going to allow him to stay. Now, if you watch the left side of things, they might try to tell you that this was really a 5-4 decision because they ruled 9-0 on the fact that he has to be on there. And then there was like a little bit of I don't even want to call it a dissent because they all agreed, but there's something written from the left-leaning members where they were disagreeing with the way in how this could be.
Who penned that? Who officially? They
Jackson.
like.
I believe Jackson, but don't hold me to it. We might have to put that in the comments. But
I'm sorry, Judge Jackson.
But they want it to go to Congress so that they could actually maybe craft legislation that would put them where they could make a decision to remove somebody. But we're neither here nor there. Love the bumper there, Juice. Is that a bumper? What's that thing called?
I don't know, like a headline thing.
You can see it under here.
It's not moving, but like a ticker. I think we could make it tick.
Nice. Ooh, ticker. But yeah, big 9-0 victory. This was like the San Francisco 49ers smoking the San Diego Chargers in the Super Bowl. There it goes. Back in 95, 96.
SCOTUS blanks the libs. 9-0.
I love it. 9-0. So I guess what did our boy Trump have to say after the ruling? He very gracious winner, which is a nice quality to have. So got that.
For its unanimous decision today, it was a very important decision. We're very well crafted. And I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs. And they worked long, they worked hard, and frankly, they worked very quickly on something that will be spoken about 100 years from now and 200 years from now. Extremely important.
Great job. Look at that. He doesn't even rub it in when he wins.
A little low energy for him. But
Yeah,
maybe he's trying to get more. That wouldn't have rubbed any good victory. Talking about this is historical.
Absolutely.
Not doing any zingers, just being more presidential, maybe.
No, but Michael Scott was on the corner of the screen there, on the side of the screen, trying hard not to say that's what she said when he said the court worked long and hard and
very quickly.
Very quickly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna say? Like, it's like, I kind of like that though. It's I feel like he's brash and a big talker almost when he's back in a corner, like, you know, and he comes out swinging, but he won already. He had it, so he comes out, you know.
Like on this other one, horrible people.
Yeah,
and he was saying like he goes too hard on him, and I was doing the "you got him, champ."
Yep,
that bit from last day.
Yeah,
and this one he's
exactly
just like, you know, the ref has to raise his hand.
Yeah,
instead of being like that, right?
Yeah, coming out like, yep, exactly. Okay, so what about CNN? What did they have to say? You know, I think they reluctantly had to admit that the court got it right. If we get something from them,
you know, look, unfortunately for America, the court isn't necessarily wrong that this is the way the framers wanted it to be. They wanted Congress, the people who are closest to their constituents, to be able to make the rules of the laws. That doesn't change the fact that because of gerrymandering in the House and all kinds of other issues, they're not doing their job on a lot of these big issues.
Yeah. I agree. It's very unlikely. Close.
He said some other stuff. They're not going to do it right now, but they're going to look at it.
They did not want to say that.
Yeah, she's like, basically like, unfortunately for our team, this is the way the framers of the Constitution wanted it to be.
Yeah, exactly. They wanted the legislature to legislate, like, and it is what it is. Like the thing that I might be jumping the gun here, but the thing that aggravates me with this too is even if they do decide to draft something in Congress, what are they going to say? Like somebody that we just point our fingers at and yell insurrectionist at, we can remove from a ballot? Or like, wouldn't you have to actually convict the man of insurrection, which in any of these court cases that he's being dragged into, not one of them has charged him with insurrection. They tried to impeach him for it, and it didn't work. Like, they did not move forward with the impeachment through the Senate. So I don't understand how they could draft something that says, oh, if you're orange and we yell insurrection enough at you, then we can remove you from a ballot. Like, doesn't make any sense to me. Or to you, right?
No.
I love it. Well,
I have another clip though.
Do you want to hear from the lady?
Yeah, the lady from Colorado. I have
the one
Colorado.
Colorado. You know, her name is Jenna W. Griswold.
It was stuck between my seats. He was like, I'm sorry, right?
I love it. Thank you. I knew you'd pick up on that.
Yeah.
Remember, he shows up.
Clark W. Grisman. It was stuck between the seats, and I'm sorry. Jelly of the month, like
the gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
Yeah, come on, Clark.
I love it. So yeah, this is Jenna Griswold. She was the one who started this whole thing in Colorado, and I dare you guys in the audience to try to keep eye contact with her during this. You might melt.
My larger reaction is disappointment. I do believe that states should be able, under our Constitution, to bar oath-breaking insurrectionists. And ultimately, this decision leaves open the door for Congress to act, to pass authorizing legislation. But we know that Congress is a nearly non-functioning body. So ultimately, it will be up to the American voters to save our democracy in November.
Is she a fembot from the Austin Powers movies or something? That was very robotic.
Yeah, somebody told her, like, when you're doing an interview, stare at the camera thing, not where the other people are. Like, right?
Don't blink.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, do not blink.
Machine gun jubblies. How'd I miss those, baby?
That was crazy. That lady is like a wacko. How can that tells you all you need to know about her, just that 30 seconds or whatever it was.
And
crazy.
She ended her bit. I don't know if she ended it, they cut her off, whatever. But like, she's like, unfortunately, it's up to the voters now.
Yeah. Gonna leave it up to those rubes. And I hate that the last two clips, they keep talking about how Congress doesn't get anything done, how it doesn't work. And again, the founders designed this system to create roadblocks. Basically, they wanted legislation to move slow. They wanted it to take a lot of convincing to get certain things done and changed. Otherwise, we'd be in this spot that we're kind of in now, where a president comes in and just legislates with a pen, executive order, executive order, executive order. And then the next guy comes in and undoes everything the guy just did, and back forth. So it's not supposed to work like that. It's supposed to take a while. Congress should be slow moving, and it's tough. You know what I mean?
Checks and balances.
Thank you. Now, what about your boy Prison Mike, as he's known out there? Or maybe Congressman.
You mean Aunt Jemima?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. What's his name? Raskin?
Jamie Rascal.
Jamie Rascal. Ends.
Raskin, yeah. But it's sad that he, like, before we get into this, because he has just a regular haircut here, and it's receding a bit. It's sad that he had cancer or whatever, been in remission for 1 year. That's great or whatever. But like, just shave your head. You're like an old, ugly, bald dude. It's receding when it grows out. And so it's like, why are you wearing a hijab or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was rocking those things. But I feel like he was using it to like stand out more too, like almost, Yeah.
Right. You want to see what he had to say?
Sure. What does he think?
I am working with a number of my colleagues, including Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Eric Swalwell, to revive legislation that we had to set up a process by which we could determine that someone who committed insurrection is disqualified by Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. And the House of Representatives already impeached Donald Trump for participating in insurrection by inciting it. So the House has already pronounced upon that.
Good thing we got Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Swalwell on the job. And
yeah, they'll be all over it.
Swalwell.
Crazy. Is he the dude who is banging the Asian spy?
Yeah, the Chinese spy.
Right?
China, yeah.
Incredible. While he was on the like espionage cabinet or whatever, I'm butchering that. Whatever.
Yeah.
He was involved in
House
one of those
foreign intelligence or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thing. They make
Thank
up
you.
all these things. The committee on the Committee of Intelligence. Right? And they just
that's exactly what it was. Foreign affairs and stuff. Yeah. Crazy. So we know what the deal is. They're just gonna cry and cry and cry. And before we move off of that topic, I do want to say, I'll give all credit to where it's warranted to Mr. Dan Bongino, because I heard a good point that he brought up on his show when he was discussing this stuff. But he made the point that, and I agree with him here, that we shouldn't get too high off of this ruling from the Supreme Court, because they might have to rule on other things going forward here, Donald Trump related. And I'm not fully confident that it's always going to go the way we want it to go from them. So I don't want to be sitting here and gloating and singing the praises of the Supreme Court for being the wisest body, whatever. Like everything they do is great. If they're going to go ahead and rule in a way that we disagree with, like
how could you not mess that one up though, right? So that's not even like a win, really.
Yeah, good point.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a half a
yeah.
point. It's like you're in pool play, and you get like a tie, a tie point.
Yeah.
Versus, the World Cups or something.
3 points for a
win, one for
match
tie,
play,
or whatever.
a group stage, pool play, or like the golfer that you give them, just pick it up, like right, like you don't have to knock that one in.
yeah. And your 9th shot on like a par 3.
That'd be me.
Gotta go. Like, why are we wasting our time on this?
Crazy. All right, so let's shift gears then to white rural rage. So when in doubt, when the Supreme Court doesn't quite vote in your way, what's the next best thing for the left to do? Blame the voters, of course. It's your fault, Juice. It's my fault. It's all you people that are in the rural flyover states of America here that don't understand what's really going on. Plain and simple, they just think that you're stupid. They want to sit there and pull an Obi-Wan Kenobi on you and give you the old, this is not the droids you're looking for. Like, this is not the man you want to vote for.
Move along.
Yes, exactly. So we talked about the border and immigration being the number one issue on last week's episode, right? Like that's what we need it to be if we want to be successful in this upcoming presidential election. So what is the Biden response to a question about what's going on at the border right now? Why not go to their spokesperson? Isn't this your favorite press secretary in all the world and all the land, Juice? Miss, what do you like to call her? KJP.
Karen Jean Pierre.
Yep.
And I mean, this is a horrific loss for any family. And obviously, if whoever is found guilty, we need to make sure that that happens. And obviously, we don't want to see anything happen like that again. But here's the thing: we have done the work to make sure we're dealing with a broken immigration system. The Republicans have gotten in the way. They have gotten in the way. And that's what we continue to see over and over and over again. And so, look, this is a serious.
What's that saying about the word "but" in like a comment like that? When someone drops a big "but," yeah, everything she said before the "but" is throw it out. It means nothing.
Dude, one, I didn't expect like actual respect about the girl. Like, was it like a Riley clip?
Yeah,
right?
That's who she was commenting on. Yeah.
I didn't expect like respect from her about it, but like maybe a comma or like a stop before the "but." Like that was like the quickest "but" of all time. You're like blah 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 blah,
but it's really Republicans' faults.
Yeah, that's called progressives pounce.
Yes.
You know how the pounce.
Great call. Progressives pounce. We should start using that one. I like that.
But we put a bill up that was horrible and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, oh, so Republicans turned it down because we just wanted to hire. We had the bill to allow all this X amount, many more people to come in and process the illegal immigrants to keep it moving, basically. And they said no to that. So, it's on them that illegal immigrants are murdering Americans out there on the streets. Yep. Again, they think you're stupid. We know who owns or needs to own this border issue. And we all know where Trump stands on it. And that was the number one issue in 2016 when he won. So that's his bread and butter. So you can't out Trump when it comes to the border and immigration and stuff. So that's a big L for them. So when that doesn't work, you want to do that, throw it on, your opponents. Why not have a couple of nerdy white guys come out and write a book titled White Rural Rage and tell you why it's really all you white rural voters. It's your fault. You people are the bad people. You're, as Hillary Clinton called you, the deplorables. We're in this position because of you people. And that's what these people literally wrote a book about. And they're on the tour right now. They're on with MSNBC. And I think we got a little bit of that interview, if you got that for us, Juice.
Why are white rural voters a threat to democracy at this point? You would think, as we pointed out, looking at Joe Biden's background and Donald Trump's, that the opposite would be true.
I mean, we lay out the fourfold interconnected threat that white rural voters pose to the country. First of all, and we show 30 polls and national studies to demonstrate this. So we provide the receipts in Chapter 6. They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, and anti-gay geodemographic group in the country. Second, they're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism and scientific skepticism, Obama birtherism. Third, anti-democratic sentiments. They don't believe in an independent press, free speech. They're most likely to say the president should be able to act unilaterally without any checks from Congress or the courts or the bureaucracy. They're also the most strongly white nationalists and white Christian nationalists. And fourth, they are most likely to excuse or justify violence as an acceptable alternative to peaceful public.
Wow. There was a lot going on there, but before we get to that, I couldn't help but be distracted by those rims the guy was rocking, those shades that he had, the glasses, and it just made me think of this awesome little bit.
May I have one of those, madam?
Madam? What do you call me madam for?
Ladies' glasses. Yes. Now look, here, yes, right here. Here. Gloria Vanderbilt collection.
He sold me ladies' glasses.
That guy was definitely rocking ladies' frames. Oh, that's awesome. First time I watched the clip, that's immediately what came to mind for me. I had to go back and rewatch it to actually hear what he had to say because I was just laughing thinking about that.
What were some of those things he's rattled off, though?
Let's break it down. How about that? I'm glad you asked, Juice. Let's break it down. Racist and xenophobic. Why? Because people that are white and rural point out that COVID-19 came from a place called China. Anti-immigration, anti-immigrant. Why? Because they believe that our country has borders. Anti-gay. Do you know that, Juice? They're anti-gay. And you know why? It's because they don't want books like genderqueer given to your fourth grader in elementary school. Oh, God forbid those anti-gay people. What about conspiracy group of election deniers? They deny that elections happen, or is it just because they appropriately identified that you changed all the voting rules and standards that were in place because of your xenophobic disease that you pushed on everybody in 2020 and allowed
rural people can't get an ID because they can't go to the Xerox machine. Remember that?
Yes.
Like,
you
can't
remember
go to
that
Office
bit.
Max. You know,
you can't get those.
Expensive to do, but like, oh, these people are saying.
Is that why they're election deniers? Because of that? Scientific skeptics? Why? Because
yeah, I mean, kind of, rightfully so.
Yeah, but like skeptical of what? Science? Fauci's the science? Science that tells you boys can turn into girls, girls can turn into boys, men can become
moon landing.
Don't bring me down that road, Juice. That's just park that one. You're the time guy. Come on. This one. Stick to the science that we can debunk successfully here.
Yeah. Christians,
boys are boys.
Christians,
white Christian nationals, right?
The fact that they believe in, like, they don't go out looking for trouble. That they're like, oh, they violent, not even violent, but like it's kind of more of like they believe in protecting their homestead. Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's not
nothing wrong with that. He called them anti-democratic. He said they're anti-democratic. Didn't we just show you who was trying to remove somebody from the ballot? Not these people. Not the white rural rage people. What about What
But
about
the violent thing again? Okay,
Yeah.
the insurrection, the January 6th insurrection, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like if that's these people,
Yep.
people, if that's these people, like that was the most peaceful riot you had ever seen. Those people own more guns than the rest of the
Good point.
nation. You know
Good
what I mean?
point.
And there wasn't like a gun issue at that whole thing. But
Not at all.
But at the mostly peaceful riots, there was
Yep.
tons of people killed and this and that.
Absolutely. The Floyd riots of 2020. That was way less peaceful. What about the people that don't believe in freedom of the press? Didn't this Biden administration try to hire a misinformation czar to lock down people like us from being
Dude,
able
what
to
was that
talk?
thing again?
Jankowicz?
I know, but what was it again?
Oh, the spoonful of sugar.
Uh,
A vaccine, remember, makes the medicine go down.
I know, but she had a part with like, what was that bit?
Yeah, it was brutal. She's
Put
horrible.
that in the comments.
We should. Yeah.
Oh, we did a thing with her.
Yeah, it was awesome. But
what episode?
Get out of here with that. What about the birther thing? Didn't they say something about that? I know that's up your alley.
Oh, Obama was born in America, yeah. And he's married to a dude too.
Jankowicz might come and censor us for that one. But yeah, I mean, what are we doing here, people? That's what these guys are going around now. Yes, it does. White rural rage runs wild on you, brother.
It's a tongue twister.
It is a little bit too many stuff going on in there. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. I don't understand how these people can go around and promote a book like that where full well if we ever said black urban voters are the problem, black urban rage, like what if we did that, wrote a book, me and the juice box write a book about how that's really the problem going on here, anything along those lines. It would not be published. We would not be given a platform. We would not be on the mainstream media press circuit promoting.
I wasn't paying a ton of attention, but those two guys in the thing wrote a thing about white people being raging or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what the clip was?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I wasn't paying a ton of attention, but I'm saying those two guys are the authors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said like 60, he goes, works 30% of the time, 80% of the time. Like his statistic or something. Remember this? Sex Panther from the
from
Anchorman. Yeah, Anchorman. Yeah.
Oh, it's great. So yeah, crazy. When they don't succeed in the courtroom on you and they can't get you there, that's what they're gonna go out and do. They're gonna go insult you, lie to you, make you feel stupid, and try and say that you're the problem instead of looking at themselves. Maybe these elitists, like these guys come from they're probably white upper crust liberal men, and they're so out of touch with the rest of the world. It's incredible, but they love the smell of their own farts, as
and
the
doing it
goes.
all to you while wearing women's glasses.
Exactly.
I was just choking it. They have that.
No, that's okay.
Like Barkley or whatever.
Yeah, because you did that bit on Obama. You better watch out, dude. They're coming for you. But that's actually a great segue for us, though, because what you just had, maybe you're coming down with something, flu-like symptoms, maybe a little bit of congestion.
Sniffles, maybe.
That lets us know that is basically what the CDC is describing as COVID now. What we all knew about 3.5, 4 years ago, that
Dude,
this
great
thing.
segue.
Thank you. Thank you for coughing, for choking up a lung. But this choking up again. I can't do any of these sayings. You gonna clip me on that?
Where he does
what the thinking in his head?
Yeah, that's what he's thinking about or whatever.
Oh man, brutal.
All right,
but the CDC is ready to come out with updated guidelines that say you no longer have to isolate for 5 days if you test positive for COVID. They're basically saying, again, what we all knew for a while here now, that this is basically the flu and treat it as such. If you have a fever or something, be fever free for 24 hours and then go ahead back to school, go back to work, whatever you may.
You want to do the clip or do you want me to play it? You're gonna just
go ahead, play it.
These guidelines for COVID-19 haven't changed since 2021. It's been a couple years. So some doctors agree it's time for an update.
I trust the CDC and I know that they're using the best data to make this decision.
Dr. Ruann Barnabas is the chief of the infectious disease division at MGH. She says the CDC is working on new guidance, which will likely come out this spring, that could say people will no longer need to isolate for 5 days after testing positive for COVID-19.
What does this mean for schools or offices? Do students or employees go right back to school or to work right after they test positive? And is there a concern for that, or it's fine if they're feeling okay?
So this aligns with the other guidance for flu and for RSV. So as long as you're fever-free for 24 hours without medication and symptom-free over that time period, then it should be safe.
Good call before showing that clip.
We knew this the whole time, though, dude.
I know, but thanks
go
for
to work
pointing
if
that
you
out.
have the sniffles.
Exactly.
And then, like, if you have flu-like symptoms, stay home until you don't.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes.
So.
You don't have to lose your job over it. You don't have to hunker down for 3 weeks and not even look at somebody because you have it. You might give it to them that way. Whatever it is, they might have told you to do, but it was all ridiculous. And in hindsight, it looks even worse. Like, I don't know I think Juice told me he was kind of working on a little something for us. Do you want to tell the folks out there? Can I ask you that? If you got something?
Yeah, you kind of asked me, like, hey, I can't find a compilation of the tyranny from 3-4 years ago. So I just went digging and grabbed a couple clips, made a quick compilation. So it might be choppy and stuff like that, but this is like a snapshot in time of 2.5 to, what would that be, 3 years ago? Whatever it is.
Yeah, I think so.
2020 to now, 2 to 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Let's do it.
What the CDC is saying, that at minimum, wear a mask, okay? This is what they're saying. Make sure you wear a mask. So you wear a mask. Then you want it to fit better. So one of the ways you could do it, if you would like to, is put a cloth mask over, which actually here and here and here, where you could get leakage in, is much better contained.
Stay at least 6 feet away from people outside your home. Stay at least 6 feet away from people at the store. Stay 6 feet away from people.
It's a sea of masks as schools reopen in Los Angeles after being shut down for 18 long months.
We're going to learn how to walk in the light.
And kindergartners are taught how to walk staying socially distanced.
We're testing about 100,000 students a day. We spent a lot of our COVID money on making sure that we had tests so that every single adult and every single student on a campus will be tested once a week.
Clinical social worker Alexa Wernick says parents have to set an example and wear masks. Younger kids can play games that make wearing a mask fun.
So you can normalize it by walking around the park and saying, okay, you're in a yellow mask. Let's see if we can find somebody else wearing a yellow mask and have them point it out, make it into a game.
Humankind has prevailed in our darkest moments, coming together to face the very thing that would extinguish our light. This is not one of those moments at all. This is a moment for pretty much the opposite. For hiding, for laying low. Napping is also good. saving humankind by really, really not getting near it. Where playing games, staring at screens, staring at anything, all are the stuff of heroes.
Oh my God. Well done, Juicebox.
crazy.
Well done. What about that dude trying to do the skateboarding trick in his closet?
With the blanket under it. Like you didn't have neighbors behind under or whatever.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
With
Well,
those people in the little pods.
that was awesome. They putting the mask on the dog, the little dog,
Yeah,
and Fauci with the nothing in here, nothing coming in here, nothing here. Like, wear the mask, you sheep. Just wear it. Listen, I am the science. Wear it. You will wear it.
Actually, no.
You will like it. Crazy. I can't believe we were doing that. Remember in the grocery stores, they had the lanes with the arrow, like this lane's a down lane, this one's an up lane. Like, come on, people.
I don't hate that for just orderly.
Yeah, I mean, but I just don't want the supermarket dictating that for me. Like, sure, if we could get orderly at the supermarket,
Oh yeah,
I'm
because
all
what
for
if
it,
you're
but
just
it's like, dude, come on. Crazy. So I'm so glad you found that. Like I said, then I don't want to sit here and tell you that I'm Mr. I was Mr. against this the entire time, because I wasn't. The only person I know that was dead on with this is my man Bass. You were in on those group texts with us too. There was most of us were like, oh, I want to see what this is, what's going on. My man Bass from day one was like, this is effed up. Like, not doing this, like, nonsense, isolating this, that, the other, nothing. He was
GM of the year.
He is the GM of the year. Great job. But he was the COVID truther of the century for us as well. I want him to get a plaque for that.
And he's white, rural, not rural, but
yep. He is filled with rage.
He's
got
Christian.
A lot of rage.
He's Christian.
He's Christian. He likes the country. He's a nationalist. So I don't know, man. Watch out. We just outed him, but he was all over it from the start. The moment for me, and I'm sure for most of you out there, I don't know, Juice, when your moment was, but for me, the moment that I knew that this stuff was all a bunch of, as Joe Biden would say, malarkey, was during the race riots of the George Floyd moment. And I think we can bring you down memory lane with that too. Juice, we got a little something to show you guys to remember what that was like as well.
12th night in a row, a coast-to-coast call to action. Turning violent in Portland, Oregon, where police clashed with protesters well into the night. And in Seattle, where police appeared to clear protesters with flashbangs after the police chief ordered the suspension of tear gas and crowd control Friday. But those violent outbursts that often overshadow the beginning of this national inflection point, now mostly absent. Waves of peaceful protest marched on, bigger than ever before.
No more silence. No justice. No peace.
From Washington's newly named Black Lives Matter Plaza to San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge to Philadelphia, where one couple even stopped to get married. Meanwhile, police in Buffalo defending a use of force after two officers were caught pushing 75-year-old Martin Gugino to the ground so hard he laid bleeding. Officers Robert McCabe and Aaron Tolgalski pleaded not guilty and were released on bail to the sound of cheers from fellow officers.
It's ridiculous, right? They were telling you can't go to work. You can't go to the supermarket. You can't gather for, we had Easter that we missed, birthday parties, funerals, sick ones in the hospital. You can't be around them. You can't see them. You can't do this. Yet all these people can
each
go
other
out
through bags. Remember this stuff?
Yes.
They held the bag in the garage or whatever. Tape the garage up. Horrible. And again, I'm sorry. That is what did it for me. Like, I'm like, willing to none of us really knew exactly what it was. So it's like, whatever. I fell for it. I feel like hook, line, and sinker at the beginning of it.
but right there, that was like, it all broke.
Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't.
Mid-March was when it first started, because I remember distinctly being pissed. I was going to get toilet paper at Stop and Shop because I heard they were going to be out. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone was panicking. I remember getting toilet paper and hearing the announcement that March Madness tournament was canceled. I think it was like the next day or 2 days from whatever night it was that I was there. And I was pissed. Like, and then all the sports started shutting down. So it was like mid-March, and Floyd died on Memorial
Bubbles, these bubbles things.
Oh my goodness, the sport, yeah, hockey, NBA bubble, right? Like they started doing that in the summer because they shut down completely, like insane.
That other thing was like, no, we just stare at a screen. Remember that?
Yeah,
that was a real video. It seemed like satire, right? At the end of the
yeah.
compilation.
Oh yeah.
That was when the World Health
just stare at-
Organization is like, hide, run and hide.
Stare at your screen. Take a nap. Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, dude, they don't want
Take a
us,
nap.
right? Dude, we didn't even comment on that.
You'd be
like,
saving mankind.
Stare at
by
anything.
taking a nap.
Stare at the fridge. Like,
Yeah, just
stare at this.
Yeah. Yes,
Right? They're
I love it.
staring. You are like, not, yeah, like we used to face these things head on, but no, now we run and hide.
Exactly.
He said.
Exactly. And it's funny, like I remember getting this hat. I busted it out for this app because I knew we were talking about it. And I feel bad, like, because I guess in a way I did comply at the very beginning, but then quickly wanted to not comply and start going that way. I can't tell you how many mask arguments I got into along the way, or just, walk into those stores just not masked at all, go up and down whatever aisle I want to go up and down. And again, I'm not special doing that. Plenty of you did the same, but it was just one of those things, like, what are you going to do? What are they going to do? And I remember they were trying to threaten to shut down Avery's soccer because people didn't have masks on in the sidelines out at the soccer
outside.
Yes. We were like, I don't care. They can send the email all they want. I'm not putting a mask on, standing outside watching my kid play soccer.
Dude, you guys just took it away 6 months ago, no?
I believe so. I think they might have tried to reinstate it for the Christmas season. Crazy. So that was nuts. You got any more thoughts on this nonsense? But at least,
no,
thankfully,
I have
we're getting back to normal.
I wanted to show from a while ago.
What's that?
About to press this. Like these sports things. COVID, coronavirus, game time decision, flu-like symptoms. I meant to press that earlier. But right, you get it? Like
on the injury report?
Yeah. Flu-like symptoms.
Yeah,
and corona is basically COVID's flu-like symptoms.
COVID's on its last leg for having any space in our minds. Like the people 50 years from now are going to look back and mock us more than we're doing right now. Absolutely crazy.
I think that we're demonic. It was like slapping those masks on like infants and stuff.
Can you believe
It's gonna go down as a bad. We're not gonna look good there. Keeping them out of schools.
Horrible. It's ridiculous. Yep. No good.
It's gonna be a bad look in 10 years. It's a bad look now.
Yeah, good point. It really is. So talking about bad looks, let's shift gears into maybe the worst look of all, coming from a Democratic state senator from Kentucky by the name of Karen Berg. That's another Seinfeld one. Sorry, Alec Berg. But Karen Berg is her name. And this was during a discussion, this video that we're about to show you. The discussion that these lawmakers were having was about House Bill 207, which would make it a felony to be in possession of a sex doll that is styled like a child, as well as make, owning, importing, or promoting child sex dolls. They would also make that a felony. That's what the context of this conversation was. And if you're ready, Juice, let's hear what Karen.
This wasn't already against the law?
I guess not. Like
if you had a big import-export of
child
sex dolls or whatever, that was okay?
I guess, unfortunately, but let's hear what Miss Berg had to say.
Unfamiliar with child sex dolls, so I had, of course, to Google it last night. Was a little scared to put it in my search engine, but I did, and apparently there is research on the subject. Not much, but there are what they call MAPs, minor attracted persons. And the limited amount of research that's done on these dolls, guys, suggests that they actually, for people who are attracted to minors, that these dolls actually decrease their proclivity to go out and attack children. That it actually gives them a release that makes them less likely to go outside of their home. And what was interesting is the research did not support the same conclusions for people who were adult attracted using dolls. That did not diminish their proclivity to engage other people, but for those with the... So I'm just a little concerned that, and like I say, the research is not very good. It is not comprehensive, but the research that is out there is conclusive.
What was that at the end?
That's what I was telling you, right? The research is shitty. It's not conclusive, but it's great. Right?
Yeah.
But what's
Let's
out
give
there?
these creeps some childlike sex dolls. We're not quite sure. There's research out there. Don't
It's
really
not
know what it tells
conclusive.
us.
It's not good, but it's good.
You
But
know,
it's out there.
I went down a Google rabbit hole last night, and this is what
They
I
don't want
came
to. Dude,
across.
she sounds like she's on like so much like wine and benzos, like and like slurs. Like
Yeah.
I went to look at the child sex dolls.
Yeah, not good. And I like that Morgan Freeman dude who right off the bat was rolling his eyes at her. And
If you
he
heard at
comes
the
back
very
again.
beginning, there was like a, oh my god, like a hot.
Oh,
mic.
was it really? Like someone
Yeah,
under their
at,
breath,
like
like
the
mumbled
first
it?
10 yeah, first 10
Oh,
seconds.
the
or
dude,
so.
like, I think in the front, sitting in front, might have been the typist guy, like, right? He gives the
Oh,
look.
I really have to type this minor attracted persons.
We did a whole bit on that stuff a while
Dora
back.
the
The
Explorer of
maps.
that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
On the
like,
map. On the map.
Exactly. Like horrible. Why are you going to try to give these people a little cute name like that? Maps. No, they're pedophiles. They're creepy pedophiles who want to touch and defile children. Like they want to take away a child's innocence. It's the most disgusting thing anybody could do. It's heinous, and it should not be anything. There should be nothing done to try to make someone's life easier who has attraction to children sexually. Like, no, not at all. And I call BS on that whole, it's going to help them control it by letting them have that release. I'm sorry. She
You gotta
told you right
change
there.
the behavior, not just do it in a fleshlight.
Exactly. Like they're going to do that, and then they're going to want the real
This
thing.
segment's sponsored by Fleshlight.
Like, no, thank
You know
you.
this?
No, no. But we just, it's not
Never heard
something.
about that. That was
What? Move
flashlight?
off it. Move off it, Juice.
Friendly
It's
show.
nothing. It's
Friendly
nothing we
show.
want to be going down. No rabbit holes. We're not going down that Google rabbit hole here. But with the minor attracted pedophiles here, we're not giving them something that's going to indulge their fantasies anymore, and then encourage them to go try to get the real thing from one of your children out there on the streets. Like, no. Done.
Yeah, why do they think that's the answer?
Not
We need
at all.
to
This
change
lady
the
should be-
overall behavior, not just give them a sex doll.
Exactly. It's like we root cause things a ton on this show. That's one of the things we love to talk about. And there's a root cause going on, that you need to attack. It's not just give it. It's somebody who's attracted sexually to minors as an adult was probably molested as a child. There's a pretty good chance that that's what happened. So you need to figure out how to get to that person, how to help them mentally, not just indulge them sexually with a childlike sex doll. and this lady is a state senator. Like, what are we doing, people of Kentucky?
She's talking like that. She's like, I did a couple of researches on the Google machine. And I already talk low to begin with, so that probably was inaudible.
Oh, it's horrible.
Like and subscribe so I can get a mic, afford a mic.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's the next step, Juice. We need a donations page. You know, we can get you a proper mic, me some proper lighting here.
Go find us.
Maybe we'll be good. Yeah, absolutely. Put it in the comments if you guys think you'd like to donate to the show. Maybe we can set something up.
Put your dollar amount in there.
Absolutely. We can bring back the Sarah McLachlan music and tell you how every dollar helps. Don't you want to sponsor a podcast? Don't you want to help a couple of guys work out of their basement? We can't do it.
A couple of guys do not comply.
All right, awesome. Well, I guess let's slide on and keep this thing rolling and bring it into the Bucky's segment, which we like to call the Come On Man segment of the day. This is when, you guys all know, we like to find somebody out there who's either done something, said something, some sort of video for you, where even though we're gonna razz them, make fun of them for a couple of minutes here, there's not much else that we could say to them except
come on, man.
Thank you, Juice. So let's go to this one that was making the way on the old X machine, Elon's baby. This was Lieutenant Colonel Bree Fram from the U.S. Space Force out there promoting transgenderism. Now, this is I don't know if I need to even spoil it. I think you'd be able to tell what this person really is once you get a glimpse and see.
It didn't take them long to trans the Space Force, huh?
No, it did not. It did not.
I just launched this thing. Well,
dude, it was what? 5 years ago? In his first round, right? Yeah. But
you kind of think it's like fake news anyways, because flat earth and all that.
So this person's job is to go around and promote transgenderism, inclusion, all that stuff in the military all around the world. So this is what this brief
all around the galaxy, brother.
Oh, I like what you did there. Well done. So let's hear from the subject and come back.
Yeah, from the subject.
This person. I don't know what to
All
call.
too often, I hear leaders talk about providing everyone with dignity and respect like it's an aspirational goal. That's not good enough. Dignity and respect is the bare minimum. It's the floor of where we can be. We must set our sights higher and focus on intentional inclusivity, because there are still far too many people out there, not just LGBTQ individuals, that feel marginalized, shut out, or discriminated against. So for all of you out there, I ask you to set out your symbols of pride, share your pronouns in your email, particularly if you're a person who doesn't think they need to. Initiate difficult conversations about racial and gender barriers, and share a bit of your vulnerability in a way that draws others in. You all have the power to take intentionally inclusive actions to ensure the multiple perspectives that we know make us stronger as we devise winning war.
For all you people out there.
He's like, especially the ones who don't think you're supposed to, about the pronouns bit or something like.
Yeah.
That guy who was like, from like Jersey Housewives or something, one of like the rich husbands, where he's like, do the pronouns and the thing. He's like, are you kidding me? You seen the guy that they cut to? Like,
yeah, it's like 5 people sitting there.
Especially if you don't think you should, but you should.
Oh my goodness. Whatever happened to respect is earned too? Isn't that something like you learn at a young age? Like, you get the respect that you give. Like, you need to earn somebody's respect. Like, I'm not saying you have to treat somebody poorly, but like, if
that's the ground floor.
Yeah, but The ground. No, I just said she. Oh my goodness. This dude, this guy, Bree, he's out there telling you that it needs to be more than that. That's not good enough. But you don't respect yourself. I'm sorry. You don't have self-respect. So why do I have to treat you with dignity and respect? You're treating us like we're idiots. You're treating us like the second thing we talked about, like you think we're stupid. This is a woman that you're talking to. It's that again.
Move
and
along.
it's like, no. If you're going to treat me like that, you're going to parade around in a dress like that, in a lady's military uniform, looking like you look, and expect me to treat you ladylike, to give you respect and dignity. You don't respect yourself. You don't have any dignity, and you sure as hell don't respect us. So why should we do that for you? Why have you earned that from us? And not only that, you're going around trying to spread this nonsense propaganda all around the galaxy, as you said. You're trying to get this into all these other countries.
That's what he does. Like that's
Yes. He's a DEI inclusion representative that they've sent to all these other countries. And I did hear I believe only one,
Neptune,
if not zero, Muslim countries, not sent to any of those countries, sent to like Canada, the South American countries, avoiding the Muslim countries at all costs, because we know like what would happen. Like the gays for Palestine
what would the Canadians
would not be in on that.
What would the Canadians?
Oh, are you kidding me?
The
Canadians were ready.
No, like Canadian provinces.
Trudeau was ready to put a ring on it.
Oh, come on in, yeah, or whatever, right? Is that? Hey, I was doing
Loved it.
like a Scandinavian bit or something.
I don't know. I kind of liked it though. It worked. Yeah. What's
Come
this all
on
about?
in. Yeah, come on in, dude. Skirts or pants? Let's be a dance. I just made that up.
That was good.
Hey?
Oh, yes, that was good. Hey.
Out of control up there.
It's ridiculous, right? Like, why? Why is that acceptable? And why is that the representation of us? That represents our country. That represents this flag that we have here. That person is representing that, going around the world, dressed like that, looking like that. It's disgusting, and it's unacceptable. I'm sorry. You don't have to be mean to the person. You don't have to go out and like, I'm not saying that these people can't exist. You can do your thing, but we don't have to promote it either. We don't have to go and demand that it's represented around the world. That's where we need to draw the line. And that's the stuff that we can't keep doing. And you better believe there's a root cause going on with Bree over there. There's something's not right. That's mental illness, and it's promoted. It's on full display, and it's promoting America. Now we do have one guy.
This root cause thing. I feel like you're like a corporate like trainer. You're like, we've been working on root cause a lot this week. We do that a lot on this this phase of the thing.
Oh yeah.
This other guy who's like,
you don't. This is to your point.
You don't have to force it on us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they charge you like if you did a burnout on that or not on that.
Exactly.
Like it's a hate crime or something.
Yeah.
It's
like,
like,
we've seen those.
You seen that?
Oh yeah.
Like this guy goes to. This guy goes to more extremes than that.
Dude, this guy is someone who. This guy's earning my respect, right, Juice?
Just out of like, regardless how you were saying, like, not saying you can't do this or whatever, but just out of like drawing a line in the sand, this guy's respectable.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't be able to do what they do, and he shouldn't be ridiculed for doing what he's doing.
Exactly.
You want to see it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
That was the Nathan for You music,
like Rocky or whatever. When Rocky does that.
Yeah, but he makes it to the top.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And that's like the very progressive one with the circle.
Yeah.
And the
trans stuff at the top, like that, whatever that thing is.
Yeah. Dude, they put it just
Triangle.
people of color on there now, too. We seen this?
Crazy.
On that?
Like
Just-
the BLM thingy? Like
No, even just like, there's like a black stripe and a brown stripe, and that just means like POC. People of color.
Crazy.
Watch for a second. Right before the trans one, just black and brown. That's for
just adding everything up in there.
Everything gets in there. What's
They're
the
adding
circle
everything up in here. Remember that?
Yeah.
The Anton. What was it? They're raping everybody up in here.
Hide your kids.
Hide your grandmothers.
Yeah,
Everybody's getting added.
What else did he do? What else did he do though at the beginning? Well, obviously, there's a rapist in Lincoln Park, right?
Yeah,
and he had that Jamie Raskin hat on.
Yes, he did. That was awesome.
Is
that thing was classic.
Senator Rascal.
Oh my goodness!
Remember that guy?
Well, yeah.
All right.
Who, Raskins from the beginning?
Yeah. And he had this thing on the guy. Well, well, obviously, there's a rapist in Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
raping
so
everybody out here or something.
We might have to. I want to find that video. Put it in the comments too, because that was classic. That thing was awesome.
They auto-tuned it. And it's like, and they made a song out of it.
Yep. Oh yeah, that dude was everywhere. Good stuff. We're trying to get Raw to go viral like that and get one of these rails out there. Maybe it will happen. We'll see. Well, Lieutenant Colonel Bree Fram, you, sir, have earned yourself one big, fat, classic.
Come on, man.
Thank you, sir.
I had to do like the sir, Lieutenant, and I missed, and I was like, well, I can't do left with the sir.
Oh, yes.
Let the lid
Well
come on.
I like that. I like that shirt you were rocking tonight too, Juice.
Thanks, man. McCarthy.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else to give these folks?
Actually, no.
All right, perfect. Well, until next week, everybody out there, thanks for
having us.
The Right and Wrong Show is produced by Juice. Executive producer, Juice. Audio mixer is Juice. Hair by Skull Shavers. Wardrobe and makeup by Ashley Ruka. Right and Wrong song created by Juice. The Right and Wrong Show is copyright 2022 from Brian Ruka.